The WWE is back with the first Smackdown following the Stomping Grounds pay-per-view, and with last night's Monday Night Raw featuring the surprise return of The Undertaker, something we just discussed in our video on what the WWE was secretly telling us on Raw. What will tonight's episode feature as WWE looks to rebuild its sagging viewership numbers? Join us now as WrestleLamia looks at the 25th June 2019 episode of Smackdown Live, and whether the WWE is teasing a lesbian angle. Tonight's edition of Smackdown is coming to you from Portland, Oregon, with things starting backstage for a refreshing change of pace. Unfortunately, that's where the novelty ends as Shane McMahon goes on about his recent handicap match alongside Drew McIntyre against Roman Reigns, a match interrupted by The Undertaker. Shane McMahon proclaims he isn't afraid of anyone dead or alive and will be ready for Extreme Rules. It's then time for another promo in the ring to get things started, as Kofi Kingston talks about some of his recent highlights in his career since winning the WWE Championship. It's okay, but opening monologues may work for late night talk shows, but they're far less effective in wrestling. But when talking about career highlights, sadly last night's Raw wasn't one of them, thanks to Samoa Joe attacking him and locking him in the Coquina Clutch. It's been confirmed that a match has been set for Extreme Rules. Dolph Ziggler interrupts Kofi, demanding he be put into the WWE Championship match between Kofi and Joe at Extreme Rules. Ziggler tells Kofi he won at Super Showdown thanks to Xavier Woods' interference, and at Stomping Grounds by taking the coward's way out by escaping the cage. Kofi asks Ziggler how many times he has to beat him before he goes away, and Ziggler says he'll face the Dreadlock Dynamo tonight in a non-title match, with the stipulation that if Ziggler wins, he gets added to the Extreme Rules title match. The match will be 2 out of 3 falls, keeping with the WWE's new policy of short matches that run in between commercials. Backstage, The Miz confronts Elias as the Awesome One looks for Shane McMahon. The Miz wants a match with McMahon before The Undertaker and gets it, providing he can beat Elias in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Now, 2 out of 3 falls matches used to be the standard for wrestling, but that was over 50 years ago. Apparently Vince McMahon continues to show how he's late to jump on a trend. SmackDown's first match of the night starts off with the New Day of Xavier Woods and Big E taking on SmackDown Tag Team Champions Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan in a non-title match. It's time for the New Day to show they're ready for another run as Tag Team Champions as they take on Bryan and Rowan. The New Day get the win after hitting the midnight hour on Bryan, but post-match, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens run to beat in the New Day, but Heavy Machinery runs in for the save, turning this into an 8-man match. So now it's 8-man action as the WWE launches another impromptu match. The New Day and Heavy Machinery rally after the heels start off strong. Kevin Owens takes a powder when things start looking bad. Heavy Machinery hits the compactor on Zayn for the win. Backstage, Nikki Cross is eager to make up to Alexa Bliss for letting Little Miss Bliss down at Stomping Grounds. Cross faces SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley tonight with the stipulation that if she wins, Bliss gets another title shot against Bayley at Extreme Rules. Yep, a lot of stipulations tonight. We then cut to a quick hype video by Mustafa Ali, in which he vows to fight so everyone's dreams can be realized. No joke, that promo video during Stomping Grounds made it look as if Ali was becoming some sort of superhero vigilante. That would be kinda cool though. We then get The Miz vs Elias in a 2 out of 3 falls match. The Miz wants to get his hands on Shane O'Mac, as who doesn't these days, but first he has to defeat Elias. Unfortunately, Shane's interference costs Miz the first fall. The second fall turns out slightly better as The Miz wins thanks to the referee disqualifying Elias for Shane O'Mac's interference. Things then go downhill for The Miz as Shane and Elias double team him before the last fall, pummeling him until he's in no shape to defend himself. In the end, Elias manages to get 2 falls, winning the match. The Miz deserves credit for the hard work he's put into rebuilding his character from a mid-card act into a main eventer. Sadly, the WWE is destroying all of this by Shane McMahon repeatedly beating The Miz down, with no payoff for anyone except Shane's ego. Finn Balor discusses his demon persona and how Andrade brought out the best in him, as does any great opponent. Shinsuke Nakamura shows up, where the hell has he been for several weeks, and teases he'll be Balor's next challenger for the Intercontinental Championship. Although brief, this segment was a good way to build up a future match between Balor and Nakamura, A dream match for sure. We then get Bayley vs Nikki Cross, which was an odd match with Nikki stealing a win out of nowhere as she gets the 1-2-3 to earn her so-called friend a title shot. A rematch between Bayley and Alexa Bliss is a good way to get Bayley over further as more than just a transitional champion. Nikki Cross making this possible doesn't make much sense unless the WWE has a long-term storyline in place, something it rarely proves adept at doing. Obviously, the WWE is showing Bliss playing Cross for a sap, but what's the payoff? It's now time for another 24/7 segment as R-Truth and Drake Maverick exchange words. Maverick tells Truth he cost him his marriage by crashing his wedding, and R-Truth feigns an apology only to tell Maverick he obviously loves the 24/7 belt more than he loves his wife. R-Truth takes off as the usual gang of idiots chase him for the belt. The 24/7 segments may get tired at some point, but right now they're still one of the best segments in the WWE. The next match of the night sees Ember Moon vs Sonya Deville with Mandy Rose at ringside. Deville manages to get the win thanks to an assist from Mandy Rose. Whilst it was good to see the SmackDown women's roster actually have a match on the show, the match wasn't the real talking point. It was what happened after the match that has some fans speculating that Sonya Deville will turn up her relationship between her and Rose tenfold, possibly lusting after her in a lesbian angle. As during her post-match celebration, you can see Sonya and Rose embrace each other in a hug. But after, and we might be possibly reading too much into this, but Deville looked to have given a flirtatious sign to Rose by caressing her hair back. It's well known that Sonya Deville is the first openly gay female in the WWE, and WWE have subsequently pushed this knowledge as just a couple of days ago, they posted a behind the scenes video of Deville's gay pride shoot. WWE is certainly going out of the box with this one, but it wouldn't be the first time it's featured an LGBTQ angle. Tori Wilson and Dawn Marie, HLA, yep, you can Google that, Billy and Chuck, and the open to interpretation character of Goldust back in the New Generation era have all been featured on WWE television before. This could be interesting if WWE goes all the way with it, but teasing it screams of desperation for ratings. Alistair Black is curious as to why no one is willing to challenge him to a fight. Black appears to get his wish as the light goes out and someone knocks on the door. When the lights go back on, Black is smiling. We don't see his challenger, which is fine as the WWE needs to create a hook to bring viewers back. Whether or not this works is the big question, but it's an encouraging sign. Who do you think his opponent could be? We believe it to be Randy Orton. We then finally get the main event of SmackDown Live between WWE Champion Kofi Kingston vs Dolph Ziggler in a 2 out of 3 falls non-title match. Kofi Kingston and Dolph Ziggler have shown time after time they have a fantastic chemistry with each other. Nonetheless, the fans have shown time after time that they have little to no interest in Dolph Ziggler as the world title contender. Kofi gets the first fall with a sunset flip. Fall 2 features a nice comeback by Ziggler as he superkicks Kofi and pins him, and during the third fall, Kofi is on the defensive as he's still feeling the effects of the superkick. Ziggler looks to have things won when he hits the zigzag, but the champion kicks out. Kofi ends Ziggler's title shot dream when he lands the Trouble in Paradise, covering him for the win. A decent match, and hopefully it will be the end of Dolph Ziggler's bid for the WWE Championship. Ultimately, the WWE needs to either explain why challengers can position themselves into title matches, or in the case of Nikki Cross, helping a friend to get one. The WWE's booking is rarely logical, but this is impossible to figure out. Apart from the possible lesbian angle that the WWE is going with, the biggest takeaway from tonight's episode is that the WWE is all in on running matches between commercials. How this translates into ratings will likely determine how long the practice continues. With Extreme Rules a little over 2 weeks away, the WWE needs to start advancing its storylines, leading to the matches there. Tonight's episode teased Shinsuke Nakamura challenging Finn Balor for the Intercontinental Championship, a good sign, and we know now that Bayley will defend the belt against Alexa Bliss, as well as Kofi defending the WWE strap against Samoa Joe at Extreme Rules. The show was more than filler, but was it enough to get fans to stay tuned and more importantly tune in next week? Did you watch the show? If so, what did you think of it? And is the WWE doing anything to improve its product? Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.